So Budget 2023 is here. We've all read about it. We've heard the speech. Now it's the time to decode that budget, and who better to do that than the Finance Secretary of the country, Mr. TV Somanathan. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. You have, through the course of your press conferences, told us why this budget is the way it is and what is right about it. I thought we'll take the next few moments to ask you what many people are saying is wrong about the budget or may have been done differently.
Sure.
And the first thing is, while there have been enhancements in the budget in some places, obviously the dynamics of the budget is you increase somewhere, you'll have to decrease from somewhere else. And the biggest bone of contention is the Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So why is it that the budget has been decreased by 13,000 crore rupees?
Yeah. So let me explain. See, the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is intended in its architecture, the way it's designed, the Act makes it a demand-based scheme. So you see, typically government schemes are of two kinds. Some are entitlements. So every farmer is entitled to 6,000 rupees under the PM Kisan program. Then there are programs where we create some asset. You build hospitals or you build clinics or you build schools. So there the objective of the scheme is that we will build 1,000 of these things and then there is a budget for that. The National Rural Employment Guarantee is something a bit different. It's a demand-based scheme. It neither has an output target in terms of assets to be created, nor is it something that everybody gets automatically every year. It is something where if a person needs wage employment, they submit an application and they are employed. So the key to budgeting that's why budgeting for this scheme is very different from budgeting for other schemes. We are actually doing an estimation of demand. In other schemes, we are estimating what can be absorbed or how much we want to construct and how much that will cost. Or we are estimating how many beneficiaries are available and how much they need to be paid. But in this scheme, we have to actually estimate demand. In terms of demand estimation this year, there are two schemes whose budgets have increased very substantially, which operate in the same catchment area as the National Rural Employment Guarantee, namely the PM Awas Yojana Gramin and the Jal Jeevan Mission, which is the Rural Water Supply Mission. They also use typically the same kind of semi-skilled, unskilled labor that is used in the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. And therefore, we expect that this approximately 40,000 crore extra of spending in the same areas as this scheme will lead to reduced demand for wage employment under the Rural Employment Guarantee because people will actually get productive employment in the other government schemes. This is point number one.
Yeah.
The second point is the economy today is reviving and is probably at the level that it was in 2019-20 or better. Therefore, also, the safety net aspect of this scheme, I think, will be less salient this year than in the last 2 to 3 years. For this reason, also, there is likely to be a drop in demand.
Okay.
It is in line with that estimation that we've reduced the budget.
But
however, it is a demand-based scheme, and if the demand materializes, we remain open to it.
While I agree with your assessment, and you said that in your previous interviews also, a lot of people who are working for the Manrega workers and reports from the ground, which NDTV has spoken to people, they say that this is a vicious cycle. There will be less money. States are saying that the center is not releasing money against the payments, an ongoing dispute with, say, the West Bengal government. Then, because there is no money, there will be no job creation, and thus you will get an impression. I think you will get an impression that there is no demand.
I'm afraid there is another viewpoint on this. There is the opposite viewpoint as well. Since you brought it up, I'm bringing it up. I don't know if you saw, there was a series of articles in not a government journal, in the Indian Express, about 8 or 9 months ago. I don't remember the exact time, which reflected what was happening in one of the states. Again, I won't name the state. It is quite the opposite of what you were saying, that if there is a budget, people were trying to estimate how much is available and create a number of beneficiaries exactly equal to what the budget was, including enrolling people who didn't need employment, getting their thumb impressions and actually getting them benefits, and then after the DBT is done, taking back a portion of the benefits by the local panchayat officials, etc. So this can work both ways. This issue of availability of funds can also create demand where there is no demand. And I'm not saying this lightly. We have internal reports, but I'm giving you an external source which you can verify. It's not a government source. So I think we have to have a balance here. We think we have estimated the demand, but I will point to the fact that each of the last 3 years, we have increased the budget at
That
the
is
revised
true. In a
estimate when
revised
the
estimate.
demand materializes. So there is a cut, yes, but that doesn't mean that it will not be increased.
Okay.